everybody, it's Kenny K here again, bringing you a re-review that I actually already did, Fright Night from 1985. And the reason why I'm doing this one is because I wanted to review the sequel to this movie. And it's a sequel that's actually not talked about a lot, in my opinion, on YouTube. It basically all the same actors, and the only actor that's missing is Amanda Breeze, but she's probably doing Married with Children at that point. Amy, the girlfriend of Charlie Brewster. So we know the story, right? Yeah, directed by Tom Holland. He directed Child's Play. Chris Sarandon is in this as the suave suave Jerry Dandridge, the vampire. Also, Chris Sarandon was a police detective in Child's Play, so they must be friends. This movie gets a 7 on IMDb. It gets an 8 from me. It's one of my favorite vampire movies for sure. You've got William Ragsdale. Now, he plays Charlie Brewster, but I never knew the name came. The name sounded familiar, so I looked it up. He plays in. He played in Renfield, that new Nick Cage movie as he's a vampire. The Equalizer with Denzel Washington. So he has a big resume. Yeah. Amanda Breeze as Amy Pearson. Roddy McDowell, also a veteran actor, playing Peter Vincent, which is actually a nod to Vincent Price. Also the goth horror legend. And then you've got Stephen Jeffries, who plays Evil Ed. Don't know what he did. Don't know what he did after this. He did some things, but I'm not sure what. Now, the movie's of course about Charlie and Amy are having a little bit of, touchy go, but then Charlie sees something out of the window, and he sees a naked man with a naked, beautiful woman, and when he wants to bite her in the neck, he sees Charlie at the right time, and he closes the shades, and you see he has long fingernails. So Charlie immediately knows he's a vampire, and the fact is that the news already had two murders on their hands, decapitated, with their heads decapitated, because Dandridge, the vampire, he wasn't out to make an army of vampires. He was actually just out to get some snacks, kill some prostitutes. An easy way to get somebody, right? Just go for a prostitute. They come and escort and drain them, chop off their heads, and nobody will suspect you. That is, if your name is Charlie Brewster. Now, I like the part when he sees that it's Charlie Brewster, when he throws that apple to the place where Charlie's hiding, and he's like, oh, he's going back in, and then his minion wants to follow him, and he says no, leave it, and then he goes to Evil Ed to ask for advice. I never understood the term Evil Ed. I know he was into the occult, a cult and all that shit, and maybe that's why they call him Evil Ed, but I'm not sure. But then he eventually, because he's always acting so erratically, like not this time, Charlie, not this time. Oh, you're so cool, Charlie. I mean, his way of his mannerisms. I always thought, okay, is he gay or something? Is he in love with Charlie? I'm not sure. In any case, he gives, if that would be the case, okay, no problem, but he's weird. He's weird about it. He gives them advice, good advice. They can, you know, they can't, a cross will repel them, but you have to believe in the cross to work. So basically, you have to believe in Jesus to let the cross work. Then the that's never really used, the garlic links. That's never really used, I believe, and they didn't even try. And holy water would not should also work, but I think when they did the test with Peter Vincent in the house, and he gave him holy water, that it just was tap water, just tap water. But he said, I saw Father Hannigan blessed this morning. So I think it's all bullshit. I think it's just water, tap water. Because if you're a vampire, are you really gonna take a chance of drinking water that basically can implode you? Even if it's even if there's, he thinks it may probably be tap water, but even then, you wouldn't take that chance, right? I wouldn't. But I like the way that they saw the vampire, with the little mirror, and I like that he saw, he didn't have a reflection. I really like that. I really like that. That that's the way how Peter Vincent gets convinced there are vampires. Um, Now, I like this part so much when Evelyn says to, when he's saying you have to have a cross, you have to have links of garlic, holy water, but it has to be blessed, he said. And then he said, oh, and w- one thing, a vampire cannot enter your house unless he's invited by the rightful owner. This is sort of being dabbled with, because like in the Lost Boys, it's yeah, Michael, Michael, it's Jason Patrick, the actor Jason Patrick, who lets him in, but he's not the owner of the house. But okay, and that's a giveaway that Max was a fucking vampire, and he is probably the head vampire. But okay, that's I already reviewed that one and set my mind, and it's my probably one favorite vampire movie. Yeah, I also think that the remake of this movie shouldn't get too much. It gets a lot of slack. It gets a 6.4 or 6 on IMDb. It's not that bad of a movie. Uh, Colin Farrell plays a good Jerry Dandridge, but he plays him more sexy like, with that tank top and muscles, and yeah, the biker kind of. Where Jerry Dandridge in this movie, he plays more that suave looking vampire with that long coat, that shawl he wears. That long coat has to represent the modern day vampire code, because when he bites Evil Ed, he takes him like this, and you know. Now, uh, and then I liked the scene where he's going home, he's nailing his window shut. His mom is calling him, okay, and then he sees the arm of Jerry Dandridge sitting there,
What?
and he's being
I
invited.
invited
Oh
him
my
over.
fucking god!
Why?
Yeah, he's fucked.
What's the matter, Charlie?
He's fucked.
Wait, I'd never come over without being invited.
It doesn't
first?
believe in Jesus. It doesn't have
You're
garlic,
right.
and I think
Quite
that
right.
shit
Of course,
doesn't work.
now that I've been made
And
welcome, I'll
holy
probably go
water,
by quite a bit.
that was his only choice. Getting
Fact.
fucking holy water for
It's
and
not
be
beautiful.
blessed by. I mean, if I was, I would have gone to a church and asked for blessed holy water. To be honest, a bucket full. I would spew in it. Here, please hold. Please, it. Please, please. Bless this. I mean, I will be shitting in my pants when you know the vampire is gonna come at you at that night, going to kill you. And I like the idea that he actually didn't want to kill him. And what would you do? Would you be that guy being the hero and taking the cross, basically answering his question without saying something, because he said, I'm gonna give you a choice. I'm gonna give you a choice that I didn't have. Forget about me, Charlie. Forget about me, and I'll let you live. Just forget about me. So what's it gonna be? And he answered
Of course.
basically with taking that
I'll
cross.
give you something I
saying,
don't have.
No way.
A choice.
The guy wasn't in any
Forget about
position to bargain. He was getting fucked up royally, and he takes that fucking cross. Who in? I really want to know in commentaries who would say yes or no. I would be a yes sayer. I would be a yes sayer. I would be like closing that window all the time. I don't want to hear shit. Okay, if you hear some screaming, yeah, it's. I don't want to be the guy that says no fucking way. And then, I mean, you know you're fucked, right? But of course, then you don't have the hero of the movie, and nothing happens, and see la la la, and of course Peter Vincent isn't introduced. So, and I also liked that erotic dance with Amy when she doesn't see him in the mirror, and that, by the way, that bouncer that stood in his way, where he gets those red eyes and those claws and claws him in the face away, that was actually the biker from Friday the 13th Part 3, the one with the chains, the black guy. Yeah. The movie is just great. Great soundtrack, great songs. They're going into that club and they're playing 80s music, and it's pretty cool. And with Evil Ed, when he's crying, you're kind of sad for Evil Ed. And what that scene where he, because they can shapeshift and he becomes a wolf.
I'll see that.
It felt, when he dies, it felt, it was a
hand.
really slow pain. And at some point he's murmuring, he's saying, it's okay, Charlie, it's okay. To Charlie, not to Peter Vincent. And I was so sad. It was a sad scene, really sad scene. Now, of course, there's the debate over what the hell happened at the very end scene, You're so cool, Brewster. Remember? Is he alive or not? He isn't mentioned in the second one.
Cool, Brewster.
And Amy isn't mentioned in the second one too. Charlie goes to from high school to 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 what's it, grad school, and he has a new love interest, and the remake also, but that's apparently a horrendous movie. It gets the lowest score of all the movies because the second one isn't of the original Fright Night isn't also that good. It gets a 5.9, but that's still better than a fucking 4.5. Um, it's about Jerry's Dandridge's sister. He had a vampire sister, so. But I'm not gonna spoil or talk too much about this one because I actually never seen that one. I never seen because I didn't like it. I sort of halfway I stopped. This time I'm gonna see it out, see what you know. For me, for saying that Fright Night is one of my favorite vampire movies, I've gotta watch this one. I gotta give this one a second chance, right? But Fright Night is just great. It's just great. The end fight with Peter Vincent and Charlie Brewster against Jerry Dandridge and his zombie minion there. He gets those bullets in his body and then Jeff this stake through his body. It's weird that that killed him, but those 6 bullets, one through the between the eyes, didn't. Okay, but I liked it. And I also always thought was weird was why Amy transformed into a completely different woman. I mean, she becomes a vampire. She has long hair. She looks completely different. Then she, of course, gets the jaw face, which Tom Holland said that his inspiration for Amy's vampire face, with all the teeth, came from a jaw of a shark. So, and I like that they killed him because the minion, I forget the names, the minion. I think his name is Mike. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think Mike, but Mike something. He's painting all the windows with black paint so everything stays dark, and that they kill him by throwing things through the windows, and that he basically at dawn he just flames up and he's dead. And then you get that last scene, like I said, that weird scene that you see that red eye, and then you see, oh, you're so bad, you're so cool, Brewster. So is he? What was the story behind that? I don't know, but okay. In any case, great movie. It's a little bit of fast review. I didn't want to go too in depth, but I wanted to do this one again because, like I said, I'm gonna do the second one probably this weekend, and probably this weekend it will be on my YouTube channel, and that one I'll probably go a little bit more in depth with, especially for the fact that never I saw the movie for first 50% for the first half, and now I'm gonna see it, give it a complete chance. Let's see what it, let's see that it, how much it, relives the original Fright Night, the first one, against the sequel. So I was really glad to have my viewers. I have a few new subscribers. I want to thank them. You guys are great. Every everything that I post, you will be the first to see this. It's raw, pretty raw. Nowadays I'm editing, but my editing is also still a little bit raw. But hey, I'm trying, right? I'm actually the editor that I'm using. It costs me $8 a month, so I'm actually giving money for you, my viewers. Think about that commitment. So please subscribe and see you next time. Bye bye for Fright Night 2.